so Vietnam just changed the game. The country has just passed a law that could be life-changing for foreigners everywhere. Dual citizenship, long-term stays, no language tests. Is this Southeast Asia or did I wake up in Denmark? Now, let's zoom out for a second. For years, Vietnam was like that mysterious girl at the bar who didn't say much. Very attractive, maybe a little confusing. And when you asked her for her number, she'd give you a fake one written on a napkin and then disappear. That happens all the time. But now she's got LinkedIn. She's professional. She's inviting people. Remote workers, digital nomads, whatever that means. Investors, even your favorite influencers are being invited. Vietnam is booming. Da Nang is the new Bali. Saigon is like what Paris used to be, except with more coffee shops and cigarette packets. And now Vietnam is opening up for business to the rest of the world. It's very exciting. Oh yeah, check out the free Move to Asia cheat sheet in the box below. Quick overview of all the countries in Asia. See which one suits you. Okay, so here's what actually changed. I'm going to do my best to give you a non-government person's breakdown of what happened. So long-term residency is being made more accessible. There's a truck outside. They're talking investor visas, golden visas they're called. If you're an expert at something or even a celebrity, an investor, or if you're married to a Vietnamese person, you can apply for a proper long-term residency. Okay, in a huge, shocking move, Vietnam is now allowing dual citizenship. This wasn't the case before. You used to have to burn your old passport to get the Vietnamese one. That's not the case anymore. Now you can have two passports. That's incredible. As far as I know before, Vietnam was strict on the language test to get the residency. But now in certain situations, if you're married especially, you don't need to pass the language test, which is a requirement in Japan, Taiwan, and the likes. So that just makes it a lot easier for people. Even though I believe it's good to learn the language of the country you're in, it's also difficult. Okay, there's big talks for creators, content creators, remote workers, or even freelancers, the good kind. They're talking about bringing in a foreign expert kind of deal. Now, the word is that you need 1 million subscribers. Hopefully not. I'm a bit off that. If they could bring it down to 10,000, then we'd be doing quite well. Then I'd definitely apply. But for now, look, I'm not there yet. That's a pity. But look, it's a good sign. And the biggest one is the path to citizenship for partners of Vietnamese people or people with Vietnamese children already. You can now apply down the line for the citizenship without renouncing your own, without the language test. That's really good. That's big. Vietnam is making things official, which is not what my ex-girlfriend would ever do for me. And look, you're saying, why does this even matter? Well, it matters because it's part of the global trend of Southeast Asia and Asia in general opening up. For years, it's been a closed for business and kind of hard to get into. People have done it, but it's not that accessible. I believe now it's opening up. The floodgates are open. Asia wants good people to come and relocate here and set up shop. And for me and you, that's a really good thing, especially if you want to live here. So who is this for? Well, if you're a remote worker, if you're like me, an aspiring YouTuber, it could be good. If you're married to a Vietnamese partner, this is really incredible. If you're an investor, if you're building a business, if you're building a YouTube channel, if you dream of that Southeast Asia base without doing the visa runs and all that extra hassle, there could be a path for you in Vietnam. Look, the world is changing and Southeast Asia is starting to open up, which is different from the past. And what's funny is the West is starting to close. There's more of a nationalist rhetoric going on. They want to close the borders. They don't want people coming in. And I believe now the opposite will happen in Asia. And that's good for me. I want to be here. So this definitely plays into my narrative of that the West is slowly, look, sinking sounds dramatic, but I'm saying sinking. And the East is growing rapidly, and that's the place to be in the future. So yeah, Vietnam before never got the love of Thailand. It was always in the shadow there. People Even though it was great, it was difficult to access. Now that's changing, and it's one of the top players. If you want to know more about all of Asia, all the mistakes that I made, all about different countries, check out the Move to Asia blueprint in the box below. Yeah, everything's in there you need to know. Also, if you want to laugh, check out the ebook, The Ultimate Asia Survival Guide. I put a lot of useful tips, hopefully useful tips, but more importantly, some embarrassing, funny stories you can learn from. So yeah, I hope you learned something from that. Vietnam is good is probably the main topic, and Asia's opening up. That's what I'm very excited about. That's a big deal for someone like me who wants to be here and wants to build a life here. Yeah, that's it, guys. Look, we'll see you in the next one. Vietnam, they're doing the right thing. They're doing a good thing. And have a good day. I'll see you in the next one. Not bad, man. You've been thinking about it. Maybe Vietnam, maybe Thailand, maybe Cambodia. But where do you even start? Many guys come over here and make the exact same mistakes, including myself. Inside the blueprint, there's 8 modules, over 20 lessons, going through the most important topics we can cover. All the mistakes I made and how you can avoid them, how to stay totally safe here in Asia, insights about dating, and what it's actually like, and a complete guide on how to make online money. I wish I had this blueprint when I started coming here to Asia all those years ago. I would have saved so much money and so much pain and regret. This guide is for people who've grown tired of life in the West, who dream of something better, dream of building a better life in Asia. If it helps you avoid even one of the mistakes that I and so many other guys make, then it's been a resounding success. So that's it, guys. Click the button below, get instant access to the blueprint and all the bonuses. If you're serious about making the move, this is your shortcut to success. I'll see you inside.